Do you think I would be a good father to your child?
I know I'm like,
Enough said.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Who are you two and how do you know each other?
I'm Jasmine, and this is my boyfriend Darian. I'm Sarah.
I'm Danny.
We used to kind of date.
How long have you been married?
What, 10? It's 10 years now.
Have you had a pregnancy scare?
We've had many a pregnancy scare. I didn't, he did.
I had a very vivid dream that she was pregnant, and I woke up in a panic.
Do you remember the sex that led to that scare?
Back then, we did have a lot.
I think I do remember, though, because it was the first time that I officially had switched and ran out of the specific birth control.
Okay.
We knew it was gonna be the last time we hung out because I told him I wanted to be in a relationship and he didn't want that. And I got an IUD like towards the end of when we were seeing each other. And so then we had unprotected sex for the first time. It was in the car.
Oh, God, yeah, I do remember that.
Okay. We had sex 3 times, just, you know, and we didn't ever think to change the condom, which was kind of stupid thinking back now. He would just kind of take like a little break, you know, and I didn't think about the fact that it's got to get small and big and small and big, you know, so.
When I had pulled it out after I cummed, I had looked at it and I only seen half of the condom at first. I was like, Jasmine, the condom broke. My heart was dumping. I was like, I'm not ready to be a father. I'm only like a junior, senior in high school.
Why don't you make Imani wear a condom or pull out?
Oh,
Why didn't I?
I know why he doesn't wear condoms, but
Well,
Why don't you wear condoms?
it doesn't feel as great. But there was such a low likelihood that I understood of her ever like conceiving or having like a child.
because I have a lot of different issues, skeletal-wise. With my organs and so forth, and even with like my uterus, things aren't exactly in place the way they should be.
2 weeks after we had not spoken at all, Danny called me and I was like really upset, right? And I was, because I really liked him. I was ready to be in a relationship with him. And then he was like, hey, this is really random, but I had a dream that you were pregnant. Can I please Venmo you to take a pregnancy test? I knew for a fact that I was not pregnant. I told you I had an IUD.
But it was fresh.
And then I took one and sent a picture. And I was like, I'm not pregnant. And then he didn't pay me back. He was just like, okay, sweet. And then that was it. And that was like the last I heard from him. And then I talked to him like 5 months later and then he paid me back.
Went in for the pregnancy test, and like a minute after I handed my urine, and she comes walking in, she's like, oh, you're pregnant. My face was like, what?
We ended up getting pregnant. It was a pretty definite, like, we're not having a kid from both of us. We were both pretty mutual on that.
Who did you tell?
I didn't tell anybody, me, myself.
I only told my grandmother, and she was actually the one who took me to go to the clinic.
Did he go with you?
No.
I was not allowed to.
No. He hadn't met my grandma yet, so I didn't want him to just get in the car and be like, I knocked your granddaughter up, let's go get rid of it, you know, like, it was really bad.
I did want to be there though, and she knew that.
I didn't want you to meet her like that. We were already so, like, embarrassed.
I was really scared, and you know, I just didn't want to be seen as one of those kids just fucking up in high school, you know, having kids in high school and stuff.
Do you remember how you reacted?
I said, what are you gonna do? Like, you know, at the time, I didn't know
You
like
didn't say it like
what
that,
was
though,
gonna
thank
happen.
God.
You know, cause like in my mind, it's really up to her, like her to decide. That's just
But
how I
you
look
were
at
scared.
it. But I was scared, yeah, I was scared
'Cause
because
I was
I was
scared.
young. I wasn't like rolling in the dough.
Did you discuss keeping?
I did. My biggest fear, though, even like I said to him, is I didn't want it to be like me. And when I say that, it has nothing to do with, oh, like a dwarf or anything. It's, I didn't want it to have all of the problems that associate. They could have some type of disability that it's like finding someone to go through pain and then you can't do anything to help them with pain. It tormented my mom. So part of me was like, I don't know if I'm strong enough to handle that.
Do you think I would be a good father to your child?
I know. I'm like,
Enough said.
I don't think right now you're in a place where you would like.
Yeah.
Do you think I would be a good mother?
Oh my gosh, yes, dude. You have the biggest heart.
The fact is, it was like a 25 to 35% chance of being able to carry a full-term pregnancy. And my body did, in fact, reject. But I still had the actual sac, the fluids, everything. So the sac is going to keep growing and growing and growing, but there's not an actual baby in there. And I'm like, that's horrible. But I could do the pill that allows you to essentially abort.
I did the pill. I had to do it all at home at my grandma's house. It was literally the worst experience of my life. I just had to sit in the tub and my grandma had to turn the shower on and she just held my hand and like I was just bleeding and I was just crying.
It was so humiliating because you're so vulnerable. I mean, you're basically losing everything that was in, you know, your uterus, and it's painful. And part of me was heartbroken. A lot of hormones go through that weekend in that cleansing, I guess I'm gonna call it.
I'm sorry to hear you had to go through all that alone.
I wasn't alone. I had like a grandma. They're like the best cooks and comforters, you know, like I was good afterward.
It made me kind of sad that I couldn't be there and stuff. It really just kind of made me feel useless when I was hearing about the things that you were going through.
I didn't know that. He's never told me that before.
I guess it was frustrating for me because you didn't trust that I knew my body and knew what I'd put into my body.
That's an interesting take. I haven't thought about that. I'm sorry that what?
You have to apologize.
No, I mean, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. I mean, I guess like that came off like really entitled for me to like reach out after like a period of time and be like, "You're gonna do this for me, and I'm not gonna even pay you back." You know.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry about that.
Thank you.
Very selfish. Very selfish.
Did you have sex after that?
I didn't see him for like 4 or 5 months, and then we saw each other again yesterday, and that was the first time since that. I think.
Did you two have sex yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he come inside of you?
Yeah. He did. When in Rome, you know.
Do you think there's a possibility she's pregnant right now?
No. But I thought about it. This is crazy. Yeah, I did. I don't want to do this again, but I'm genuinely a little bit thinking about it, you know?
Thank you for sharing your story. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.